Alright, we're going. Got audio.
Do you have like an intro set up for the
podcast?
I
really don't.
No?
Maybe I'll do that post-production. A little sound clip and everything.
He has esoteric thoughts.
Right. Yeah.
There you go.
Today we're here to answer, should I quit my job and be a part-time bartender?
Never.
First thoughts.
Sorry.
That's fair. So initial thoughts, you say no.
Well, I mean, it's a joke.
Yeah.
It honestly sounds, I mean, you have a pretty cushy spot at Chevron, it sounds like. But you've been talking about this for a while, so it sounds like something that you should do. In all honesty, I mean,
Should do. Okay.
I mean, it's going to be tough, right?
Yeah.
I think you're thinking about this bohemian lifestyle in San Diego, but you should remember.
And San Diego's just, that's not even a thing. It could be in San Francisco.
Yeah. Oh, well, you never mentioned this before.
Yeah. I'm not tied to San Diego, and right now I've got the girlfriend thing, so I'd probably, make some.
Okay. I'm sure Allie would approve.
If she watches this, that's how I describe it, is the girlfriend thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the bohemian lifestyle, I feel like in the Bay Area is borderline impossible now.
Yeah, just cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess you could live with her if she's okay with that.
I wouldn't do that.
Okay. Well, then it sounds like
it's not you, babe.
It's your choice.
Yeah.
I think it sounds fantastic in concept. I just think it's going to be tough because I mean, right now you're living in a place that costs $2,000,
yes.
right?
Yep.
And it's a dope fucking place,
right? And I'd be looking for a place that's like, 1/5 of this to live in.
Exactly.
And I'm not going to have this luxury.
And I mean, even if you find an affordable place,
yeah.
I mean, making it as a writer is fucking tough. There are a lot of writers out there, right?
Right.
I mean,
yes.
it takes a lot to be Stephen King.
Yes.
And I'm not douding your skill. I'm not doubting your drive. It's more just acknowledging that, shit, this is going to be tough.
Yes.
But, I think it could be a phenomenal experience that a lot of millennials don't get to try.
Right, and the only thing that scares me about that, the experience of it, is that, one of the main reasons I want to do this, and that it is a push to not just keep it as a side gig, but go and, jump in, to the deep and just quit my job, is that, or my company, they censored my blog. They shut down my blog. So they shut down what I'd been passionate about doing. So the issue with that is if I were to, go, quit the job, go full time, I could have my corporate reputation tarnished by things that I would then publish and potentially have my name tied to.
Well, could you do it under a different name?
It's all anonymous. So it has been anonymous. But if I keep doing these videos, and if I were to say things in videos that aren't PC, that's where it may go from just a good experience, and then, hey, you know what? I do want to make money and do the career thing. That's where I could see those options being limited by what I want to do.
So I feel like, in all honesty, this might not be as widespread as you. I don't feel like the president, for example, is going to be listening to this.
Right. Yes.
And honestly, I feel like if they are, and they're like, this dude isn't qualified to work for us, then fuck them. There's so many companies out there.
And I guess you're right. If the HR department is listening, then that means I have enough listeners and viewers that
you probably do pretty well.
HR department is listening.
Yeah,
and then well. I'm doing pretty well. Yes. So that's a good point.
So I don't think I'd so much worry about that. And I think if that was like a something that like kept you from doing it,
Yeah.
then that'd be bad, right? Because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
the whole concept of America, if I'm doing it in quotations,
Yes.
is about doing what you feel is right, what you feel driven to do.
Yes.
And if you feel limited by that and you don't do it because of that, it's lost its purpose, right? I mean,
agree.
I feel like,
And that's my whole push for all of this.
yeah, I mean, I would be shocked if
Mhm.
you're interviewing and someone's like, hey, I saw this podcast you did.
Yeah.
I don't think you're right for this job. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, well then you fuck your company, fuck this.
Yes.
I'm out.
Yeah.
There are too many companies out there that
Mhm.
I don't think you should use that as a in a negative.
Okay.
Like maybe this will affect me long term. I think the only negatives I can really see are your immediate cash flow.
Yes.
Can you sustain yourself?
Right.
I mean, again, but what you're saying is you're going to be a bartender, so I mean you'll have some income.
And the bartender, that's just a job to say, I can work 10 hours a week and cover expenses.
Well,
that's the whole point of that.
Well, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And another important thing is, are you used to this lifestyle where you don't really have to think about what you buy?
I am used to that. I'm not used to thinking about what I buy. I don't set budgets for myself. I don't really keep an eye on spending. And it's been really that way since I graduated college. So, in college, I was looking at how much money I was spending on food and everything. But I have not done any of that since.
Exactly. So,
yep.
I mean,
and I like not having to worry about money.
Well, have you thought about maybe giving it a couple months of where like, hey, I can't spend more than this. Like, just assume what your wage is going to be as a bartender. Assume what your savings are going to be, and just kind of live, under that assumption and see what you can really accomplish and see if it just bugs the shit out of you. Because if it bugs the shit out of you, that defeats the whole point, I feel like, of living the bohemian rider lifestyle. If you're going to be like, God, I can't afford my shit. Like, I can't do what I want to do, and it just stresses you out, then what's the point?
Yeah, I've thought about doing an exercise like that, but it's hard to get in that mindset when it's not a legitimate issue. So what I mean by that is like, all right, I've got sandwich material and eggs ready to make for the next day. If I get home late, it's like, fuck it, I won't make sandwiches. I'll just buy lunch tomorrow. And if yeah, exactly. And in the morning, if I snooze the alarm, it's like, okay, no, I can't make eggs. I'll get a breakfast burrito on the way to work, and that's like no problem. There's a solution. Where if I just didn't have the money, I also wouldn't be doing the commute. There's other things.
I've seen an easy solution.
Yeah.
Propose to Allie. Just have her bankroll your entire life, and then you're the writer, and then good to go. If you strike it big, you strike it big. If not, hey,
be the sugar mama.
Hey, exactly. Put your pride on the shelf for a little bit, and right off that.
For a bit, that'd be proposing forever. I can't do that. That's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. Okay, noted.
Yes.
I mean,
I like the ideas though. Let's keep them coming.
Well, I mean, is she down to move to San Diego with you? Because you seem pretty into this relationship.
Okay, you've brought up San Diego a couple times. Just going to give background here. I threw out San Diego because I love San Diego, and I feel it'd be a pretty inexpensive place to live to do these things. It's much less expensive than the Bay Area. Although, I could, find a way. Bartending jobs here might pay more, or whatever job I find, it would have to pay more. Bartending doesn't. I'd get a different part-time job that pays more. So, but San Diego was a hot idea. Mostly, probably when we first discussed this, Allie probably may not have been my girlfriend, so it was like
she was just on the cusp.
Okay, yeah. So San Diego really appealed because it's like, all right, there's a lot of hot chicks there. And it's like, and I have to be around that social scene. Like I'm not gonna just. I could always go and live in the woods and fucking rough it for a couple years, but I don't want to do that. I still want to have. I'm really asking for a lot for a little. I want the social scene. I want to maintain the girlfriend. I want
You want the
total
life that you
freedom.
have when you're employed.
Yes, pretty much. Without the employer.
Yeah.
yeah, without 9 hours being spent doing things that aren't related to what I want to be doing. It's not the writing. It's not whatever, building my own businesses, whatever.
So realistically,
Yeah.
say you're given a full week. Hey, I have to do 10 hours for the week for bartending.
Yeah.
How much would you reasonably devote to writing?
I mean, hours a day.
Have you written for hours a day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I've been writing for years now, since really freshman year of college. So I've been writing consistently for 8 years.
Okay.
And these days I spend my entire commutes either reading and writing, but mostly writing. That's the train. So I spend more than an hour every day writing. And that's absolutely something I could spend more time doing. And that's not even I spend a lot more time editing later on weeknights, weekends. That's just sitting down, grinding out writing. I spend a lot more time currently editing and otherwise just fixing up my websites that I was running.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I asked, because essentially it's going to be your new full-time job.
Exactly. So it's not like I feel I'm pretty good about how I use my time these days. I have my time where I'm social, my time, where I'm at work for those 9 hours every day. And then the rest of the time spent pretty well doing my hobbies, reading, writing, gym, whatever.
Okay.
So it's absolutely something I could spend more time doing.
Okay. I mean, it's not a rash decision that I feel like you're doing. You're not suddenly quitting your job and be like, Mom, Dad, I'm going to make this work. Like, I'm doing this, like you've had years working.
It's not, fuck, I had a shitty week.
Yeah.
I'm done with this.
The way you're talking about it, it's year to 2 years away.
Yes.
And I mean, I still maintain the worst case scenario is you do it, you hate it, you find a new job.
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
I don't see really any negatives, and it's a great story later on. Like, remember when I lived a year, just writing,
Yeah.
I'm sure you can come up with some great stuff.
Yeah.
It's more just, have you really, thought about all the stuff you take for granted?
Right.
When you have that solid paycheck every week. And, Allie's going to keep working. So she's going to be able to do all this stuff.
Yes.
And, like, are you okay, maybe not being able to participate because I feel like you're a guy that is too prideful to be like, hey, honey, can you kind of bankroll me
exactly
while I do this? So you would abstain. You'd be like, I can't afford this. I can't do it right now.
Correct.
And so would you be okay with being like that for a while?
I think so.
Yeah.
And again, I haven't been in that situation, but just going with
things to consider.
Exactly, yeah. But that's what we're doing. And I think I'm pretty good about my relationship with Allie where our relationship doesn't revolve around those lavish dates. It doesn't revolve around big spending and doing those, again, lavish nights out. We're good about just being with each other, no matter where that is, what we're doing. So, walk to the park is, we'll have a great time. If we stay in, it'll be a great time. So I think the relationship would continue great, but it would change some activities. We won't go to the Starlight Room.
Yes. The expensive dinners we do during the week may have to be put on the back burner for a little while.
Yes. Yep.
All I'm saying is you live in a fantastic I love the shit out of this place.
Yeah.
I'm going to be sad to see it go.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how you're going to feel with it gone.
Yeah.
But, you're a grown-ass man who has obviously thought this through. So I'm in the boat of give it a shot. I don't think there are going to be any negative long-term repercussions. I just have such a hard time imagining you going into a job interview.
Yeah.
And they're like, that one podcast you did.
Yeah.
We just don't feel like you're the right fit.
Okay.
It's like, all right, fuck off.
When you say that practically, that makes so much sense. I'm just bitter from the experience I had. But that was my, I told people about it.
Yeah.
Word got out because it was the same company. So that's not going to happen. You're right.
And if they really bring it up, then you probably made it pretty big with these podcasts. Right. So it's like a win-win,
Recruiters are telling me about this. That's a good reflection of where I am as a writer.
And you're obviously restless enough that this is bothering you for a while. So I feel like if you don't do it now, you're gonna want to do it when you're 35.
Yeah.
With kids and married, and that's probably not the best time to do it. So get it out of your system now.
Yeah.
Or I'm not saying it's like a phase.
Yeah.
That's a whole different topic of conversation.
Yeah.
But it's still in your mid-20s. There's really nothing to lose. I feel like I don't think I have the balls to do it, but I don't know if I can really come up with enough stuff to write about.
For sure.
To make it worth it.
Yeah.
I hate my job. Yeah, I'm looking for something new, but I can't imagine doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't make it bad.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So if it feels right, I'm all for it.
Okay.
That's where a lot of the creativity comes from. If you look back on the past, people kind of not feeling complacent with where they're at. For example, so Sirius XM right now on channel 18 does. I'm not advertising it, I swear.
Yeah.
Does the Beatles? Okay. So I listen to the Beatles on my commute in.
Yes.
And it's like, if these guys were just complacent and were just regular blokes from Liverpool.
Yes.
They honestly would have lived a really shitty life, just working on the docks in Liverpool.
Yeah, getting jobs.
But they're like, fuck it. I want to play this instrument. I want to go to these bars and perform. And, obviously it's hard to say, I'm going to go do all this extravagant shit because the Beatles made it work.
When you look at them and their success, they grinded at that instead of just doing the job and having it as a hobby on the side. Which would never, they would never have been the Beatles had they continued it as a hobby in the evenings.
But I think this move will enable you to, when we're older, look back on it and be like, hey, you know what? I had a great time that year. I gave it a shot. I wrote a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not a Pulitzer Prize winner.
Yeah.
But at least I fucking, did something about it.
Right.
I scratched that itch.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
So in terms of that, it's worth it.
Okay.
I totally think.
Yeah.
And
that's worst case. Best case, Pulitzer Prize. Worst case, it failed. I'm applying for another job, and there's a lot of middle ground there.
Yeah.
Where good things could happen.
And I think honestly, people just get hurt by this indecision of just like, oh my god, what's this going to do for my career? And in the scheme of things, I don't think people are going to give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't see how this is going to negatively affect you.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you go, honestly, on just a racist,
Yeah.
Hitler-type tirade.
Yeah.
The Jews, the blacks, the Muslims,
Yeah.
they should all be killed.
Asians.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
name everyone.
Yeah.
And you're like, they should all die.
Right.
Maybe then that can come back and bite you.
Mm-hmm.
But, expressing your political views because you bleed red,
Yes.
I think shouldn't hurt you. Like,
right.
Yeah, you're a Trump supporter, but if a company's like, we can't hire you because you supported Trump, then it's like, no, fuck that company.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I'm with you. Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
I
Because
get
it sounds
that.
like a terrible company to work with. Like,
Right.
They don't have to support Trump, but to like blacklist,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like,
I do.
it goes beyond just Trump.
I totally agree. Yeah. Yeah.
So just don't be super like homophobic and racist, and I feel like you'll be okay
Yes.
in the long term.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you
I'll
know.
write that down after the show.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Do not be
I wrote it on my arm. Yeah. Oh God, again.
Yeah, get that tattooed.
Yes.
Don't be like Hitler.
Don't be like Hitler.
There you go.
Yes.
And you're good to go.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, but I think it's worthwhile to pursue.
Yeah.
And I think everyone's kind of looking for that passion in life. Like what to kind of feel complete, because I feel like careers these days don't really lead to that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you can maybe enjoy your job, but like you need to find that thing on the outside that you really give a shit about.
Yeah.
Whether it's working at the homeless shelter or joining a running club, like it doesn't matter, whatever works for you.
Yeah.
But like you've been talking about this long enough that obviously like that's like number one on your mind.
Yeah.
And you like it seems like a piece of you is like missing until you do this.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the vibes I'm getting.
Yeah.
I don't want to put
No,
words in
fair.
your mouth.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
yeah. And that's why I think it's worth
9 hours
supporting.
a day piece of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it could be worse. It could always be worse, but that shouldn't stop you from wanting to do it.
Right.
So.
What's your thing? What's
My
your
thing?
walk away? I can do this 9 hours a day instead.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely not being an auditor.
Not being an auditor.
Walking in every day and being like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm here to fact check your shit. No one's jumping up for joy being like, hey, the auditor's fucking here.
Yes.
So,
Is it a software project manager? There might be a job opening up soon.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
I don't know if that really gets my sparks, flying right now.
I know it sounded kind of negative
I know.
with the whole premise of the show being against that. But I do like what I do as a software project manager.
I mean, shit, in all honesty, I just
And that's another thing, though, is that I'll get back, think about that. I'm not sure, this could end up just being another grass is always greener type thing. Like my
you won't know
job,
until you try.
exactly. Like my job isn't bad. I like what I do. I like, generally the people I work with. I have a great boss. I just don't like having a boss. I don't like, following rules of the company, being here at these hours, digging into my writing. I don't like, there are things. Yeah, exactly. So I know I'm asking a lot for a company, but that's the whole reason for this and for my considering leaving it.
Yeah. No, I mean, that all makes sense. I mean, if you feel stifled, then it's time for a change. Like, for example, I was in Chicago this weekend, and I was kind of telling you that the whole trip, I was just like, fuck, I have to go back to work on Tuesday.
Yeah.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It's Memorial Day, right?
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like that's a clear sign that you, like, need to leave when you're genuinely, like, dreading work.
Yeah. And when it's affecting your time outside of work, like, that's big.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, yeah, it's hard to make plans. It's hard to really, have a set life outside of it when you're like, oh, I'll be over at 6. Oh, sorry, it won't be till 9.
yeah.
Like
yeah.
that's actually happened. Like,
Right.
and that fucking sucks.
Mhm.
And so, you know, you were asking earlier something that would like I might feel that completeness for it.
Yeah.
The true answer is I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, you know, I could list things like, I mean, I love basketball. Could I be a Jeff Van Gundy, your hero?
Yes.
You know, could I?
The world needs more Jeff Van Gundys, Jeff. Be another Jeff Van Gundy.
Yeah. Could I talk about that all day?
The demand is there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. You know, I love sailing. Could I teach classes? Could I, you know, it's just these things that like I don't really know, I guess, until I have to do it.
Yeah.
But I know what I'm doing right now isn't the calling.
Sure.
Isn't the what just gets me going. But, you know, I think a lot of people working now are
Mhm.
have realized, maybe we'll never realize that
Mhm.
work isn't the passion. It's what you do outside of it
Mhm.
that really matters. So
Yeah.
like, my goal right now is to find a job that I can go to Chicago and be like, oh, I have to go to work Tuesday. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of fuck,
Yes.
I have to go to work right now.
Mhm.
You know, and I understand most people aren't like, hey, I have to go to work right now. But it's a difference,
Finally
right?
Monday.
You know, it's not dreading it. It's like acceptance of like, okay, I have to go to work. You know, it's not the most fun thing in the world, but I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I'm happy right now with not hating it.
Mhm.
And that sounds depressing as shit, but I think that enables you to have the energy to pursue passions outside of work.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, because I feel so drained every day from work that I don't do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
like if I'm like, hey, you know, I had a productive day, it was fine, and like I still feel like some type of energy to like go do something outside of it. Like that's what I need.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you might just need this, you know, I don't know how long it will last, but like this writing venture to recharge. You know, just kind of do, you know, not get it out of your system, because I feel like if you're going to be writing, that's not something you really give up.
Right.
But like just be like, hey, I'm giving it my all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm enjoying it. I'm ready to go back to work and like kind of do it on the side.
Yes.
Like that's how I predict it going down.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think that's a hell of a lot more than a lot of people do. A lot of people are too terrified to do that.
Yes.
You know, including myself, because I envision it just all going wrong. So I'm like almost paralyzed by fear, right?
Yeah.
So I don't do it. And then I complain about it. And then people are like, well, why don't you go do it? I'm like, well, it's easier said than done. And, you know, it's a cycle.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it's honorable, in all honesty, to say, hey, I have a cushy job, but I'm going to go do this instead. And
that's where I think my way of looking at it has been healthy, where meaning, you know, it's not like I hate my job. It's not like I just want more free time. It's like, all right, I have this job and I'm really good. I'm really good at disconnecting from my work when I'm outside of it. Like 5 o'clock hits, like the work day is done, and now I'm writing and doing other things. You know, I'm going out to happy hour, whatever it is. And so that leads to this, because it's not like I just want to quit work. I'm not, you know, I do want to do that, but it's not like I'm running away from responsibility. It's more, I want more time to do these things. Like, I am happy. I just want more time to do these things that are making me happy and try to spin them into a productive asset.
Yeah. And I think that's the whole concept of the American dream, which I think truly is bullshit,
Yeah,
is built off of,
Yeah.
is, you know, doing what makes you happy. And,
Yeah.
you know, I think you're
American dream is work till you're 65, then do what you're happy.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
That's what
I can't wait.
Yeah, right? Can't wait till 65.
I think you're in a fortunate enough position that, okay, so say worst case.
Yeah.
It all just fails.
Mm-hmm.
Every employer you're applying for is like, hey, fuck your podcast. I don't want to hire you.
Yes. Yeah.
You have your parents there that can help you out until you kind of get on your feet.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I feel like that's a worst case scenario, but
Yeah.
it must feel somewhat good to just be like, hey, I can still rely on that. And I think a lot of people don't have that.
Fair. Yep.
Like you're not going to be on the streets.
Correct.
If this all just doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have a hard time visualizing any scenario where this isn't like positive.
Okay. Yeah.
Where 10 years from now, you're like, oh, fuck, why did I do this?
Yeah.
I just see it as a positive experience that a lot of people could learn from. I'm not saying everyone should go and quit their job and try and be a writer.
Yeah.
But like, I think a lot of people are just either wrapped up. Everyone says these days, oh, I'm so busy.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just can't do shit. It's like, are you really that busy?
Right.
You can't do shit. Or are you just saying it, because that's kind of the habit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or just, I can't do this because it's going to, I don't have, like, for example, I've been trying to get into dancing, like salsa.
Yes.
And, I'm almost like paralyzed by fear of being the lead.
Yeah.
And being like, hey, ladies, let me just take you around for the night.
Yeah.
And so I don't go do it because I'm just paralyzed of that scenario. But it's like, well, just go. No one's going to slap you. No one's going to be like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Right.
I'm sure it'll be nothing but positive.
Yeah.
But like, I'm so in my head, as I'm sure 99% of people are, to never do it.
Right. Yeah.
And
so few salsa dancers out there.
I know. And it's a great way to meet women. So from what I hear.
It is.
But that's just like a tame example of
right.
People. I think people just
being
are really good at making excuses.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't want to do this because blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm sure.
What's really the worst that could happen? Like, even if a girl slaps you, again, that's me being at my parents' house. Like, yeah. If a girl slaps you on a salsa dance floor, like, there's 100 other women there, and 50 of them didn't see you get slapped.
Exactly.
Like, that's the worst that happened. That's the worst case scenario.
Worst case.
And again,
slap. Which in some people is the death penalty. Just getting slapped by a woman is essentially you should die.
Yeah.
Have you explained the daddy's home thing?
Not on this.
Because I feel like I can't bring it up without like explaining the story.
Let's see.
But it's up to you.
Let's skip over that. Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
Right.
Noted. Ladies, if you ever want to figure out about daddy's home, please reach out to me.
Yes. I love it.
But yeah, I would say to sum it all up, it's a good move. It's a risky move, but it's not so risky that you shouldn't do it.
All right. Totally different conversation than I had with John the other day. This is fun.
Yeah. Right, there you go.
All right.
So I like to think I'm very reasonable. Ladies, I'm very reasonable.
He is. And he has a huge... Let's see. Who's going to be listening to this?
Mom, shut up. Turn it off.
All right. Good stuff, Jeff. Thank you.
Yeah.